I gotta watch my back, I gotta watch my back. Dodging demons, coppers, oppers probably hate me cause I'm black. I don't know, I be spreading love, sometimes ain't mutual. Just a seed that's from that darkness, but that was.
Alright, what's up everybody? So, we started pulling out the seats on the 2003 Denali, the seats in the interior and the center console. And I've got to start on putting the seats in the Suburban. So you can see over there, we are working on pulling the engine and stuff out of the Denali for Dead Betty for the 1955 Buick. But I got excited and decided to do my seat swap, center console swap on the Suburban. So I figured I would jump in here, get you guys up to where I'm at. So I have pulled out the original seats and center console and started fitting the new one. So the seats just came out with 4 bolts, easy peasy. I think they were 15 millimeter, a couple of electrical harnesses, same on that side. They were a little tough to get out because old and rusty, but they came out just fine. And then the center console was 2 bolts on the inside and another electrical connector. And then what I did was I took the center console from the 2003 Denali and stripped out all of the interior pieces. So it was just a bunch of these screws to pull out all of those pieces and the clips and stuff. And now I am just starting to trim it up to get it to fit as flush as I can up to my dash. So I kind of just took a measurement from there to where it'll sit flush on both sides and then drew a cut line where I'm going to trim it. See, this driver's side needs a lot more trimming than the passenger side, just needs a little bit because it sits so far away. So basically determine the measurement based off of where this edge was, and then we'll trim it to fit from there. So I'm not really using, like there was a CD changer and stuff like that in here. Not using any of that because I've already got a CD player in here, and eventually I do plan on putting an actual stereo in here and stuff, so not worried about any of that. The only thing I'm looking at doing is like wiring in the plugs, because obviously I'm going to cover up my plugs in there, so I'm just going to disconnect those and rewire into the plugs in the center console. The interior color is like almost a perfect match, which is sweet. I did throw one of the seats in here because you do have to realize that the interior of the Denali, 2003 Denali, was wider than the interior of the Suburban. So good idea just to throw everything in here, make sure it fits widthwise, and go from there. So starting with the center console, we're gonna get this cut up and figure out how to mount it in here, and then move on to the seats. The track widths on the seats are nowhere near the same. So I don't know, might just drill new holes and nuts, might have to use some spacers to make sure it sits level, but I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be way comfier.
Look, I gotta watch my back, I gotta watch my back. Dodging demons, coppers, oppers probably hate me cause I'm black. I don't know, I be spreading love, sometimes ain't mutual. Just a seed that's from that darkness, but that's what it takes to grow. Still in flow, still in motion.
Okay, so after all that cutting, you can see not the nicest fit yet. I hit on that air box there, so if I trim a little more out of there, I might be able to squeeze this in further on this side. But let's just go see how we look on the other side. I might need to go up that little bit. Yeah, so this side there's a bit of a gap there as well, and might be think I have anywhere else. A little bit on the other side for that air box. Probably bump this up just past the seatbelt belts. These can come out though because the Denali seats have the buckles and the belts attached. Once I get it all the way in there. The really tricky part, and I'm sure this is the part where everyone messes this up and doesn't want to do it. So it still has to go there. So there's quite a bit of trimming to do on this piece as well. So you can see I kind of got the line started there. But might lose this storage compartment, it looks like. Okay, so trimmed up that piece. I had to go back and forth like 4 or 5 times, but I think I got it pretty close. Obviously the top clips weren't there, so I'm just going to find a way to pin that down there, but I mean, pretty much looks like it belongs. My gaps are a little big in here and in here, so I kind of wish I would have gone a little slower there, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it looks pretty factory. I'll sand the edges down and stuff, clean them up a bit, but yeah. When I was thinking about going in and painting this, because obviously nothing else in here has that wood grain on it, so you can paint that black to match the other pieces and go from there. But this compartment here didn't fit, so I might just do a panel in behind to hide it. This is where the CD changer was. Right now kind of makes a nice pocket. Right now kind of makes a nice pocket, so I just leave it there. Cup holders, compartment. But looks pretty sweet. It's gonna be a lot more comfortable too. The thing that drove me nuts about the original seats and center console in here is like, even with an armrest, you didn't have anywhere to put your arm. So let's go around and see what it looks like on the other side. Oh yeah, look how classy that looks. That is classy. I actually really dig it. Looks really good. Lots of people online said that people who use these full center consoles on their interior swaps can get them to look good, but I mean, if you trimmed a little more carefully than I did, you could get it to look pretty fantastic, I think. I like exactly the way it sits, just like this. So next, what I'm gonna do is throw the seats in on each side and see, trying to figure out how I'm gonna mount those. Okay, so I test fitted the seats and stuff again, and so yeah, T50 Torx bit, took out the seat belts from both sides, over here as well, and up here, because these seats have the buckle and the seat belt built into them. What I'm doing next is I'm just going to fit that center console back in here. Just have to see kind of how that goes, and then wire in the plugs inside of that center console. Once that's mounted, I did go and see, and I can line up with this front hole with the front hole of the seat mount. This back hole here, I think my mounting on the other seat's about back here, so I'm going to take a piece of flat bar, and mount it to the seat, and then mount it into the original hole up here. It was pretty close to this, so I think I might just take another piece of flat bar wherever it winds up and do it there, and then same thing up here, piece of flat bar. That'll mount the front. I'll wire the power into the seat, just hot wire it basically. So I got the power seat again. The other side is where you run into issues because of this transmission tunnel is not centered. It's wider on the passenger side. So what you actually need to do is you need to space that seat up almost 2 inches in order to mount it. So what I'm going to do, and I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but well, there's definitely a better way to do it, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bolt some of this together. Worked out to be just about 2 inches thick, and then I'll bolt to it and then to the original floor, and I think that'll work good. Okay, so as you can see, I got this all mounted in. It is trimmed up as nicely as I can get it. Like I said, I should have taken more time when I was cutting this up a bit, but overall I'm pretty happy with the fit and finish of it. To mount it into place, should have taken this video before I put it all back together, but down in here, underneath here was the metal bracket that attaches to the bracket with the arms that comes down and attaches to the seats on the Denali. I took that bracket off, but then the mounting points for the metal frame inside here that goes into that metal bracket, I use those mounting brackets, and I just drove some self-tappers down into here, and she's solid. And then to fix this from flopping around, I just drove some screws into here. I will, when I paint the rest of this, I'll paint these up, and I'll maybe get something that'll mount a little more flush there or whatever, but that'll work for now. And then to wire in, you'll still be able to see this because of how I did it, but I took apart the this piece here. I took this off, unplugged these pieces, and then I just wired those into each of the connectors. So there's one for this plug for the 12-volt connectors, one for this plug, one for plug in here, right here, and then one for the one down back here. So they're all plugged in and working. You can see this kind of, yep, you can see that. They've all got power now. So they're nice and solid. You can see I've got that seat mocked up and in. That's all the way forward. I've got this, the bolt on this side in, not all the way, just started. And then what's back here, I think I might have already shown you this, but this side here is just a straight shot that way. So what I've done is there's had some of this stuff lying around. So what I was going to do was just mount the seat to that, and then mount that to the hole on the floor. And then I've got another one for the other side, like that. And then I'll do the same on the front driver's side corner. And then when I get over to passenger side, I will need to do the 2-inch risers. And then I'm also going to wire in the power for the seat, which is super easy. The power's already there because it was power seats before. Just wired into the ground and the positive on that connector. And then at some point I will put in a switch panel, probably into this one, where I can wire in the heated seats for both sides. Because why not? Shout out to Wakely behind the camera. There you go. Okay. Going here. So with this bracket, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill out these holes a bit to fit the original hardware. And then I also want to clean up these sharp edges. So I'm going to cut this at an angle and then grind it down so it's sanded a bit. And then that way nobody cuts their foot on it if they kick their feet underneath the seat or something. So. So I just cleaned up all of these edges. Oh, I should probably clean that one up a bit more. Because I don't want any of the kids kicking their feet underneath and then catching their toes on there if they happen to be in sandals or something. There we go, that's looking a little better. No more sharp edges to catch toes on.
Watch out, 'cause I know the brakes come.
All I'm doing here is attaching the seat to this mount, like so. Take this one and mount that bracket down into the floor. I'm just gonna leave it all loose for now. And then once I know it's all good, then I can tighten it all up. But so far this accomplishes. Okay, and then for this side, much smaller one, but same thing. I'm gonna oversize whatever holes I need, clean up an edge, so that way nobody cuts their foot on it. This one is a much smaller distance because of what I'm going to do is mount it to the seatbelt mounting hole that was there. So I'm going to oversize this hole, clean up this edge. I'm good to go. And I'll just hand tight, not even hand tight, just barely thread it on for now. That way I've got lots of movement, so I can get these suckers all lined up good. Okay, so I'm just gonna wire in this seat quick because I would like to move it back so it's a little easier to work in the front there. Then I can move it back and forth. But you can see this connector here. There's 2 oranges and a black. 2 oranges are hot, black is ground. And then on this connector here, there's a thick black wire and a thick orange wire. And that again is our hot and our ground. So we're just gonna wire those together, and then we should have power to our power seats. wire these two orange ones together. Okay, I moved the seat. Let's see. Did it work? Or did I blow a fuse?
I think I might have blown a fuse away.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
That's better. When I zoom in, it's even better.
Okay, so what I gotta do with this one, oversize this hole, and then I've also gotta cut this off here because of the angle of it. And then I'm gonna trim up this just so I am not cutting my heels on it. Now, the plan.
The plan.
The plan.
You not know the plan?
I do have a plan. My plan is to build spacers. Big old spacers. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop the seat in here and see which holes line up with the holes on the seat bracket. That way I can drill them out a little bit for the bolts, and then we can pull these brackets back out, trim these ones, clean up the edges so they're not sharp, and wire in the seat. Right now the seat's all the way forward. So it looks like I can use this hole here. And that hole there, man, that works out so good. It's like the perfect spacing. Okay. So this one here. So in here. Drill out this hole, this hole here. I don't know where to drill it out up here yet, but I can cut these down to here. Okay, so that was the seat and center console install on my 97 Suburban. So that is the seats and center console out of a 2003 Yukon Denali. Overall, I think it looks really good. You will notice that this passenger seat sits about 2 inches taller than the driver's side, and that's because down here the brackets we had to build up to get over that hump. It's still comfortable, and you could put the other side on those raised up brackets as well, but I'm a pretty big guy. I like to sit low, so I mounted that one as low as I could and then just did what I needed to do over here on the passenger side. Yeah, overall it looks really good. In the future, I do plan to try to get the heated seats to work, but doing a little bit of research, it looks like it might be controlled through the body control module or whatever in the Yukon Denali. So might not be possible, and if that's the case, no big deal. Not too worried about it. In here, I will do some plates. I will do a plate in here. This used to be a cubby, but there's not as much space behind anymore to do that cubby, so I'll fill this in with a plate. If I can get the heated seats to work, I will put in the buttons here for the heated seat, and then I might try to make a cubby or something like that for here. So anyways, thanks for checking out that video, and yeah, if you do attempt to do this swap also, send me some pictures, show me how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with this. Pretty exciting, way more comfortable. I've been driving around with the driver's seat already for a while, like a week, 2 weeks. Just finally got the passenger seat in, and it's been super comfortable and great, and I love it. So once again, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed what you saw here or learned anything, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and keep cruise culture alive. Thanks for your help, Wake.
Welcome.